Hello everybody, Smith here, welcome back to some more Fighter Subscriber, where I have challenged you to produce a craft that can best this selection of my own fighters, and my god, you've been really chewing through them this season, and I suspect that today's craft will be no exception. This then is the X-Rei Shinden F01 by Maximus Light, a craft I decided was just, and I mean only just, the right side of the rules. Even then I was kind of worrying about the decision, but turns out Max completely forgot to select the control surfaces on this correctly, so everyone else is in with a fighting chance. Putting those mistakes aside for a second, this craft is powered by 1 Saturn and 2 Panther engines and is armed with 4 Sidewinders, 6 AMRAAMs and, as with most craft this season, a pair of Gao 22s. Now, I got curious with this craft and wanted to see what would happen if you actually fixed the control surfaces so they did what they were supposed to, and accidentally took that craft up for the test flight, and, well, damn. But yeah, I can't be asked to re-record this, so we're just going to go straight in and see how the other version performs. First up to test the mettle of the X-Rei Shinden will be my Red Hawks. Let's get them into the air. The competition starts with the X-Rei Shindens having only just climbed up to altitude. I think, yeah, about 5,000 is what they're aiming for. Yosemite Kerman gets the first of his... Oh my god, there's a little bit of instability there. I was about to say, despite the problems with the control surface setup, I'm not sure if that was what caused that, they did manage to get a perfect score in the preliminaries. So, despite that, my own craft are in for a bit of a rough ride. The X-Rei Shinden's losing most of that initial altitude. I'm not sure if that's deliberate, if that's the strategy that Maximus Light was going for. Anyway, Yosemite Kerman comes around, deploys the second of his missiles. Are these set up at 3 missiles per target, 3 missile targets? Only got the 108 originally. Oh my god, did this thing just killed itself with an AMRAAM? Huh. Was not expecting that. So that's the first death of an X-Rei in Fighter Subscriber, including all the preliminaries, which is, and it's self-inflicted. That does not normally happen. Dogfight Cam doing the incredibly helpful thing of showing us what exactly is behind the... Actually, that might be quite helpful now, given Guatemala Kerman's craft is taking a bit of a beating. Manages to get around, though. Tries to line up a shot. That's looking good. That's looking good. The Dogfight Cam again doing its usual sterling work. Does manage to get a heavy hit on our Red Hawks, apparently. Oh, God. Let's see if we can find that one. Yeah, Legged Black Kerman is not long for this world. So it's 2 against 2. Watermelon Kerman has a missile incoming, turns around, pops some countermeasures, tries to line up guns. It looks like one of his wingmen is sort of already on the job for him. Yeah. And it's 2 against 1. So despite an unfortunate loss of one of their craft... Come on, an AMRAAM suicide, that is... Oh. Yeah, it looks like they will win this fight, although it does rule them out of a perfect score. That Red Hawk. Yeah, has some problems. Missing a control surface. Takes another scorching. Takes more of a scorching. Just gets beheaded. The cockpit taken out. And despite a shaky start, the X-Rei Shindens are victorious. A good solid performance by the X-Rei Shinden there in the first fight, although with the loss of 1 fighter, they don't have much wiggle room left as they go into this fight against my Spike Tails, who've been doing really well this season. Let's get them into the air. The second fight starts. Now, the X-Rei Shindens can afford to lose 1 more craft and still be in contention for a finals place. Any more than that, and I am afraid they are out. That's kind of how strong the competition is this season. Yeah, and so I'm sure Maximus Light will be hoping for a perfect win, an improved performance by his craft, and I will be hoping for an improved performance by the Dogfight Cam, which I will turn on now before people start getting mean in the comments. Wow, this thing is having issues controlling itself. Okay, there we go. That's fine. Iron Kerman does get a missile away. Yeah! I was so worried about this craft being overpowered. It was like almost when I discovered the problem with its control surfaces. I was almost like, oh, thank God for that. One of the spike tails takes a heavy hit. One of the spike tails takes another heavy hit. That's two of the spike tails. These things have been dropping like flies in some of the recent fights to missiles. It's so hit and miss at the moment. Adam Kerman's craft in good nick. Ben Kerman's craft less so. One of the X-Rei Shinden's going to finish it off. There we go. Yeah, so two of them appear to be in reasonably good condition. This one I think has taken a hit, and that's blown off all the missiles on one wing, so it's a little unbalanced. Missile comes in, does manage to avoid it. So unless Ghosty Kerman can fire off a couple of those missiles, then he's already dead. Never mind! Adam Kerman in a slightly more balanced state, flips out slightly, gets wrecked. And it was an improved performance. So yeah, let's move on to our final fight. The X-Rei Shinden's now one win away from a finals place. Can they seize the opportunity against my Lynxes, who've been doing absolutely dreadfully this season? Oh God. Anyway, let's get this one started. So the fight starts, and a perfect victory here will see the X-Rei Shindens go straight into a... A perfect win here will see them guarantee qualification for this season's finals. I do beg your pardon. The loss of one aircraft will mean they go into a tie-break situation. The loss of two aircraft will mean that they are down and out. And of course, if they lose, then all bets are off. Let's turn on the dogfight cam, which did a little better last time. I'm hoping that continues now. Steve Kerman comes around, pulls. Yeah, there's some setup issues in these craft. Bit of a shame, really. It would have been interesting to know just how these things could do if they were like set up with the control surfaces properly. Anyway, yeah, may have to be for a mailbag. Missiles going in. The first volley didn't hit anything. This second volley. The Lynxes look pretty good so far, but they really have been this season's whipping boys. Just, they have some issues. They really do have some issues. And, yeah, I think I am going to just replace these prematurely. Because normally I'd replace my oldest craft first, then the next oldest, but that would mean that of all the craft at the moment, the Lynxes would be the last to be replaced. I think they need to be replaced sooner, and one craft is gone. I think it's probably a Lynx, and that is another one of the Lynxes. Oh, Steve Kerman can't quite line up his guns. There we go. That's more of a heavy hit. And that Lynx is essentially out of here. We'll find it impossible to control with... finding pretty good, easy to control at the moment with one engine, but generally they just spin out. Lost both engines, now completely destroyed. We're down to the last Lynx. Omelette Kerman's craft is currently in a decent health, and no, not any longer. Loses an engine. Managing to hold it together pretty well. I did make some adjustments to this craft before the season to make sure they wouldn't spin out quite so much. Seems to have worked a bit. But the improvements overall, not so much. Okay, let's go and take a look at the final scores. So the X-Rei Shinden F-01, an interesting craft, a beautiful craft, and even with the control surfaces set up wrong, even with the instabilities, even with the missile suicide, it has performed very, very well. And if we bring up the leaderboard, we can see that with 9 kills and 8 survivors, it sits on 17 points, not just in the top 4, but having guaranteed itself a place in this season's finals. We do still have the issue of those 3 craft all on 16 points, kind of straddling the finals places, but we do have one very strong craft left to go, so if that also qualifies for the finals place, then I no longer have that headache. Although, of course, I will remain neutral in these matters. My huge thanks for this craft, and my congratulations to Maximus Light. If you want me to fight your craft, I'm afraid entries for this season are now closed. I mean, we're like 2 videos away from finishing the whole thing, so Yeah, although I am still doing the regular mailbag streams in case you want to see your craft in action on the channel. But that will be all for today. I do hope you've enjoyed it. If you have and you haven't already, please consider liking, subscribing, following me on Twitter, getting involved with the Discord, great KSP and BD Armory community on there, and more besides. All those links in the description, as are links to the PayPal and the Patreon if you want to help support the channel. You too can get your own little patron Kerbal like I've been using here today, as well as, you name it, at the end of videos, access to the Patreon-only Discord channel, some other stuff I'm trying to do once a month now, that kind of thing. I will be back soon with some more Fighter Subscriber, but until then, thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you next time.